2, 1. 96.7 KCAL rocks. It is your Thursday, and you know what that means? We talk a little sports with our guy, Pep. What's going down, Pep?
Hey, guys, just the other day, it was funny. We were talking about, not too long ago, the Lakers were really, really bad, right? They weren't a playoff team. Then LeBron gets there, and everything changes once again. There was kind of a gap, right, between like the Kobe years and the LeBron years. Well, even when the Lakers were really bad, they still grabbed the headlines from the Clippers. And that's exactly what happened again this time, because LeBron is changing his number to number 6. And again, if you use social media as the barometer of what people are talking about, LeBron switching his number from 23 to 6 next season was bigger news than all the NBA playoff games. What do you guys say about this?
The weird thing about it, and the one thing that makes it big news is, remember, this was agreed on about 2 years ago when they brought in Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis was going to wear 23.
Right.
Anthony Davis said he's not switching his number. He wants to keep wearing the number 3. He's not going to go to 23, and LeBron is still switching his number to 6.
Since he still probably wanted to do it anyways, but that's what I thought. You're right. I thought he was going to 6 to kind of give the number to AD.
Right, so AD is not taking the number. LeBron's still going with the jersey change. That's kind of the weird part to me about it.
See, from what I heard, I guess he wears number 6 in the new Space Jam movie. So maybe it's a marketing ploy, but my conspiracy theory guy over here says that, if you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, that's the definition of crazy, right? So, he doesn't want to duplicate what happened this year wearing number 23. So he's going to break out number 6. It's going to be a fresh start. He's going to do something different because this year, again, they were the champions last year in the bubble. They come back this year and get bounced in the first round. Now, Anthony Davis wasn't healthy, but he's feeling like, I just got to do something different. I got to have a fresh start. I got to go back to, because he wore 6 with the Miami Heat, and you could say those were probably maybe his best seasons. I don't know. You can make an argument for that. So maybe he just wants a fresh start, a new look, going back to his best days as a player.
I think you have nailed it right on the head. This is all Space Jam, because what just dinged in my head when you said that is when they went to LeBron after the Lakers lost, and one of the first things out of his mouth was some Space Jam crap.
Well, they asked if he was going to be playing with the Olympic team this year, and he said, no, he's playing with the Toon Squad.
And he injected. This is exactly why he's changing his number. Everything makes sense now. It's perfect. I bet you AD wasn't even going to take 23 ever.
No, the problem, this shows a rift between AD and LeBron. AD is the problem in LA because they had this whole plan worked out. AD was going to throw a fit. He wanted number 23, right? So they made the agreement. LeBron was going to wear 6. LeBron goes into Space Jam. Of course, he's going to have his new number in the Space Jam movie. So he's going to have 6 in Space Jam. Anthony Davis, Mr. Softest Charmin Diva over here, decides, I don't want the number 23. LeBron is still committed to this thing, so he still has to go through with it.
I think this is all movie crap.
Same here. Hey, when stuff like this happens, it's always about money, right? It's never about hey, I just want to change my number.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always these monetary motives, right? It's all about the money.
Well, merchandising is smart, right? Because now my kid is now going to want a number 6 jersey.
Sure, yeah.
So whether I like it or not, I'm getting a number 6 jersey.
It's definitely all about the money, but I'm going to find a way to blame it on Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
AD going down did not help.
So I guess the moral of the story is the Lakers will probably not have a number 23 next season. No, not LeBron, not Anthony Davis.
And maybe that's okay.
Thanks, Anthony.
It is. 23, listen, that's an iconic number. That's Michael Jordan. It is what it is. That's MJ, so try something else.
Which is kind of part of Space Jam, too, like 40 kind of mentioned. So very interesting.
That number is now LeBron, and Space Jam is now LeBron as well. He's taking it all.
Yeah, the number 2.
Hey, guys, to the NBA playoffs, the other Los Angeles team, the Clippers, already down to the number 1 team in the Western Conference, the Jazz. They're down 1-0. Game 2 is tonight. Kawhi Leonard had a strong game, but, man, they could not finish it out, and Utah got him by a couple points. And, again, Utah, great team. I don't know if they have a superstar. They got some good players, but a very good team, and they got the Clippers in Game 1.
The Clippers got to get this game, too.
I mean, they just need some more scoring outside of Kawhi and Paul George, but that's hard to come by these days.
I know. Remember how we always kind of talked about how deep that bench was, but it certainly does seem to be coming down to the dynamic duo.
It's deep in a lot of things, but not really points.
Yes.
Also, the Western Conference, the Suns lead the Nuggets to zip. And again, that Phoenix team, a lot of great players led by the veteran Chris Paul, of course. So they lead Denver to zip. But the Nuggets do have the NBA's most valuable player. No, it's not Kawhi. It is not LeBron James. It is Denver Nuggets big man Nikola Jokic. And Jokic is, I guess, a great shooting, great passing big man if you haven't seen him for the Nuggets. And he's your NBA MVP this year.
There you go. He gets a little son, from Giannis. Normally Giannis wouldn't get the MVP from him, but it goes to him. So it's cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, Giannis, you could make a case for Steph Curry. Steph Curry was great this year for Golden State, but no, Jokic, the big man from the Nuggets, your NBA MVP. And guys, get this, over in the Eastern Conference, the Nets are hammering Milwaukee right now. They won the first 2 games by blowouts, even with James Harden with a hamstring injury. But I totally forgot, this is totally honest, that Blake Griffin, I had no idea he was on the Nets. Like, I remember hearing about it when it first happened because Blake Griffin was buried with the Detroit Pistons, and I heard, he left the Pistons and went to the Nets. It was like months and months ago, and I totally forgot. And now all of a sudden he found the fountain of youth. He's actually, dunking the basketball again, and it's like, oh yeah, Blake Griffin plus, the other stars, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. That's a pretty good team.
Yeah, I remember that he went to the Nets because when he first got there, a bunch of the reporters after a game where he was good, they were like, can you believe that they're letting you on this team and it's going to be a super team? He goes, yeah, it's kind of weird because everybody's been telling me how much I sucked the last 3 years.
I mean, Detroit was not good for Blake Griffin.
He was Mr. Comedian. It was very funny.
No, you know what? Remember, when he was with the Clippers, he was on all the highlight reels because he was jumping out of the arenas, right? These big-time, massive slams. And then he was on all these commercials, man. He had tons of commercials on TV. And then he goes to Detroit. He can't jump in the air anymore. He becomes a jump shooter. He's got no commercials. Like, he just kind of disappeared. But Blake Griffin is back, everybody.
Well, Detroit. That's the story.
That's what happens in Detroit. Real quick, baseball news. Don't look now, but here come the Angels. They just swept the Kansas City Royals. They won 11 of 16. And this is with Mike Trout on the shelf. So the Angels are starting to make some noise. They're starting to turn things around after a very slow start.
Is it good that Trout finally got hurt and it made the other guys be like, you know what, maybe we should play some baseball and help Mike out?
It got Mike out of the way, out of the greatest player of all time. The chosen one is taking over, I'm telling you.
He's still hitting his bombs. And I mean, how about him speaking of MVP, how about him for MVP?
He's got to be, right? Like, so far during this Major League Baseball season, we're probably almost a third of the way in. Yeah, I would say Shohei Ohtani is probably the MVP, man. He guy's just mashing.
One out of the way, little fishy man. Shohei time.
And finally, guys, NFL training camps across the NFL underway. Those little 3-day mini camps. They're mandatory now. This is not the OTA kind of stuff. This is mandatory mini camp. Aaron Rodgers not at Green Bay camp. The 49ers canceling their upcoming mini camp. You know what I mean? So, like, it's a weird NFL offseason right now. But I did want to plug our guy Jalen Phillips, our first-round draft pick out of Redlands East Valley High School. First-round pick for the Miami Dolphins. Officially signed his contract yesterday. So that's probably nice to get that first NFL check in your hands.
Very cool. And then I wanted to just inject a little bit of news. I mean, it could be just total hype. As I hear that Deshaun Watson is trying to work his way to Denver. Did you guys hear anything about that?
Yeah, I think anything to get away from his current situation and what he's doing now. But I think he's got a little bit of legal troubles to deal with first.
I heard that Denver's trying to get him on the cheap. Just a report I heard, Pep. I had to tell you.
No, and I heard something similar. I heard that maybe the Broncos were going to have a decision to make between Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's a pretty easy choice. Pretty easy choice, but you'll take who you'll take, right? You're not going to take whoever they got. Drew Lock. Right. And the bomb. Tell me to get your stuff.
Hey, it's Inland Sports, everybody, all over social media. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel as well. Make sure you check it out if you love Inland Empire sports.
Pep.